Well, hello
Hello.
everyone. Hi, Omolara, Stephanie. Thank you for joining me today. Okay, looks like one of us is having a bit of trouble remaining within the event. I think that's Stephanie. Hopefully, she'll log back in a minute. But while we're waiting, Omolara, hopefully we can get at least 5 people to join this particular track, so that it'll be more interesting. But if it's just you and I, it's fine. But let's just give them a bit of time. So right now it's 1:30, which I think is when this particular track is supposed to start. So let's just give them 5 minutes. But while we're waiting, let's make use of our time. Let's have a conversation. So can you tell me about yourself?
My name is Lara. I'm a lawyer. I work in the telecoms / tech space. So I remember there was a time that we had a meeting some years ago. My former boss was talking about the things to research into and position yourself for in the future. That was when I heard about blockchain for the first time. Blockchain, 5G, IoT, all of those things. So I'm just curious and would like to see how I can, just gain more knowledge in that aspect.
Okay, so Omolara, first and foremost, you have a fantastic boss. Go and hug your boss because he gave you some very, very solid advice. I'm speaking from my own perspective, and let me tell you what my perspective is. I am also a lawyer by profession.
Ooh.
Yes, and I'm a technologist today. I put down my certificates. I folded it nicely, put it in one of those plastic folders.
Wow, this is the first time I will hear that a lawyer actually. Wow. What happened?
So you're in the right place.
Wow. Awesome.
Okay, so let me tell you very honestly, and you're the only one who's going to hear this because you're the first one to log on. When I decided I was going to study law, and I decided I was going to be a lawyer when I was like 9 or 10 years old. Yeah. And the reason why is because I was watching all this Perry Mason, Jake and the Fat Man, all these cool legal shows. And I thought the law was going to be like that. I was going to storm the courts, harass the judge, show the other lawyer what I'm made of and everything like that. Defender of justice, all that stuff. Captain Planet and all that stuff. And of course, you and I both know now that by the time you graduate from university and you bag that LLB, that it's nothing like that. Nothing close to that. So I felt a bit disillusioned. And then I belonged to an organization called ISEC. And in ISEC, we were all about saving the environment, being non-political, non-religious, being diverse and working towards focusing on positive activities towards building a better world. And so I had that mindset and that desire. And, I had bought into that idea completely. And so it was important for me to be able to implement that in my professional life. And I discovered that I really couldn't do it, at least not to the degree that I desired in the legal field. Yeah. So I decided that I was going to find my way out and find something better to do, or something at least more in line with what my personal goals were and my personal visions and value system was. And that's how I found my way out of the law. But we'll talk a bit more about it during the session. So there's still just 2 of us. Let me see if I can go and poach some people. I'm coming. Just give me a minute. Just to let you know something else, I was told to design this session to be a tech session. So it's supposed to be a tech session. But me being the criminal that I can be, I slotted in some things that are not very, very tech, because I appreciate the blockchain industry well enough to know that not everybody that's going to come in, at least at the initial stage, is going to be fully tech.
Yeah.
And so someone like you now, you have a lot to contribute within the industry, but you're not necessarily fully tech.
Yes.
And you might never be, because you really don't need to be. You have a law degree. You are prized within any industry that you are in. So so we will be talking about the tech, the non-tech traditional roles, and then the should I say digital or virtual roles. So there's plenty of space for you within any of those areas. Just to let you know, in addition, I started in the tech industry from a non-tech perspective, but I did learn to code. But that's not to say that you have to learn to code. You don't. The only reason why I learned to code is because I started to feel as if code was like a language. I felt like I was in a country like France, and everybody was speaking French, but I couldn't speak French. So I was like, oh, this will not do. I must learn this French, even if it's for the sake of just saying I can't speak French. So I learned to code for that reason alone. But I'm not a coder. Although I want to be, but I'm not a coder. I can code, but I'm not a coder. And in my professional life in the blockchain industry, I do not code, at least not yet. My plan is that by this time next year, I will be a full-time blockchain coder, but I'm not going to be working professionally as a blockchain coder. I'm just going to be creating blockchain products for my own personal desire. So that's just to give you a bit more context. So there's still just two of us. Let me try and poach somebody very quickly. Just bear with me so that we can have a more interesting session. But if I come back and I haven't poached anybody, then we're just going to start. Don't worry, you're going to have fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Lara. Hi, Lara.
Hi. Sorry, I was just trying to...
Okay, so let me ask you. I know that Powen has, I think, a Telegram group. Am I correct?
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out how we can poach people from other sessions.
That's all right. Yeah, I sent a message to the tech support guy.
Okay, that's Demola.
Yes, Demola, to see if he can help us with that. Okay, I have someone, a friend of mine that asked for the event session. So I just asked her to join blockchain development.
Okay, so let's just give them 3 more minutes. It's 3:37 right now. So in 3 minutes, we'll just start.
All right, thank you.
Welcome. So may I ask what type of law you've been practicing, and how long have you been at bar? When were you called?
2012. I was called in 2012.
Oh wow, you've been practicing for a while. You're 8 years of you're almost 10 years at bar.
10. My
God, you and a boss now.
No.
Why?
So I
so have you been able to gain any ground in the tech space?
Yeah,
as in tech law, have you been able to gain any ground?
Yes. So I started working with Vodacom. Started out with telecoms, really. Transitioning into tech. So a lot of people combine telecoms and tech. They are interrelated, but they also have a lot of differences.
So, yeah, the difference is clear. It's very, very wide, to be honest. Yeah.
Very, very wide. So I'm currently transitioning into becoming, gaining more capacity in the tech space. I would say that in terms of telecoms, I've been able to master it, to a large extent. But technology that keeps changing every day, you just have to, read up and all.
Okay, so we're going to start in about 1 minute. It's already 1:39. So in keeping it to my promise, in keeping to my promise, we will start in.
All right, no problem.
30 minutes. In 1 minute, sorry. Okay, so somebody just, Oh, somebody just joined and left. Ginny Kenneth. Gigi Kenneth just joined and left. Why are they joining and leaving now? Oh, there are 4 people here now. Hello, everyone. Okay, hi. We've been waiting for you people. Oh, welcome on board. This is Career in Focus Blockchain Technology. My name is Mahassin L, Quadri, and I welcome you all to this particular session. So first and foremost, I'm going to start this session very quickly because we've lost a bit of time by talking about my true life blockchain story. So I run several podcasts and YouTube, or should I say YouTube or video sessions or series around the blockchain and cryptocurrency industry. And one of the sessions that I always do, or segments that I do on my podcast, is called My True Life Blockchain Story, where people within the blockchain industry share their story, how they got into the blockchain industry, because the industry it's never a direct path for anybody really, because it's still so novel. It is always accidental the way people get into it, but they're always very, very interesting stories. So I'm going to share with you now my true life blockchain story. So way back 2016, I had just closed down my restaurant. I used to run a restaurant. So just to be clear, I studied law and I practiced for several years. And then I went into corporate life, and I was working as a corporate lawyer internationally in Singapore and then in Italy. And then I moved back to Nigeria because I wanted to come home and contribute to Africa. So I'd always had that desire. And so I decided to do that. And then I was working within the shipping world as the executive assistant to the managing director of the largest port concession company in Nigeria, probably Africa also. And then I worked there for a few years, a very short while, and then I left. And when I left, I decided that it was time for me to pursue my entrepreneurial dreams. And so I started a restaurant. I ran that health food bar for about 3 or 4 years. And then somewhere in the line, because I never planned to stop doing that, it was supposed to be my life's work. But somewhere along the line, I began to see the numerous challenges that my parents went through as entrepreneurs, because both my parents are entrepreneurs, lifelong entrepreneurs. And I began to see the challenges that they went through because I was going through the very same challenges myself. And it was very painful for me. I didn't understand why it was so difficult to run a business, a small business in Nigeria. And so I started to look for loopholes, solutions, things I could do to improve the way I ran my business, or to solve problems I was facing running my business. And in the course of that, I found myself relying more and more on tech solutions. So tech solutions for managing my inventory, tech solutions for communicating with my customers, tech solutions for logistics, for collecting payments, and so on and so forth. And then I more and more, as I saw that I was relying more and more on tech, I started to realize that tech wasn't just a means of solving small problems within your business that were surmountable when you look at the volumes, but that tech had the potential of being able to impact upon many lives. And that was what was very, very important to me, because it was my worldview and my vision to do things with my life that will allow me to impact upon as many people as possible. That's all I wanted to do with my life. And so I started to draw closer and closer and become more and more curious about technology. I signed up for a hackathon that gave me the opportunity to build a product that I designed in my head. And then I started working with a group of developers on that product. I was in the incubator where we were working on a particular day when the guys from Luno, which is an exchange, a cryptocurrency exchange, came by, and they were going to have a training session. And the plan was just to train people at random in the incubator. So they were basically just going to different incubators and workstation and universal work environments just to tell people about their products and tell people about cryptocurrencies in the hope that they would sign up and start to invest in cryptocurrencies. And so they convinced us to come and join their training. I did the training, and when they were talking about it, you know, cryptocurrencies, this new money, virtual, you could, it was global, so many things that they said. And I remember my mind just blew, boom, like that, oh my God. Because where I was coming from, that place where some things as simple as moving money around was difficult. So my mind just blew, and I became very, very interested in it. And I went home and I just started reading up about it and Googling it and everything. And then I started to realize how revolutionary and how powerful this thing, because then what they were selling to us was Luno, their product, and then Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency that their product was giving people access to. And so I focused on Bitcoin, and then I started to realize that there was more to it. It wasn't just Bitcoin. There was a technology called blockchain. And so I started reading about the technology. And then I found out that this technology had capacity or use cases way beyond cryptocurrencies. And then I started reading about that. And the more I read, the more excited I became. And I remember that within a month of my first introduction to cryptocurrencies, I had created a course. I had gone to my class WhatsApp group, my law school class WhatsApp group, sorry, my university class WhatsApp group. And I was like, guys, come and hear about this. And I begged them, I literally begged them to come so that I could train them for free. So I was begging these people, you should just come now, please, let me teach you, please, 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 let me teach you. I would have paid them to let me teach them at that point in time. That's how excited I was. So I made my first investment in cryptocurrencies in the month of, I did my first training with Luno in the last week of November, and I made my first investment in cryptocurrencies in the month of April, so the last week of April. And I remember 5 weeks later, I was broke and I owed somebody money, and the person was pestering me like crazy, and I needed to pay this person back their money. I remember I was completely broke at that point in time, that kind of end of the month situation, and I had no idea what I was going to do because the person was not willing to wait. And then I just remembered that, 5 months earlier, I had just invested some money in Bitcoin, because I think I had a $250,000 naira on that day. I remember very well. I had a $250,000 naira at the last week of April, and I chose to only spend 30,000 naira out of a $250,000 naira, and I bought Bitcoin with just 30,000 naira. And at that point in time, one Bitcoin was worth 245,000 or 200 and something like that, meaning that I literally could afford to buy one whole Bitcoin at that point in time, but I didn't buy it. I only bought 30,000 naira worth. 6 weeks down the line, when I was owing somebody money, I now realized that, I have some money there. So my plan was just to go back into the Luno app, take out the 30,000 naira because I didn't expect anything massive to have happened to it, and just give that person that money and say, please wait, I'll bring you the rest later. And I logged on to Luno, and rather than see the 30,000 naira that I'd spent, I saw 180,000 naira, and I almost died. I had never seen anything like it. From 30,000 naira to 180,000 naira in just 6 weeks. And that was it for me. That was when I was converted. After that, there was nothing else left to do. Since then, I've been training people on how to invest in cryptocurrencies for months, for literally months, years. So since 2016, 2017, I've been training people on a weekly or monthly basis. And I confess, from 2017 all the way to 2020, I was training people for free because I was so excited. I just wanted everybody who could know to know. Anybody who could participate, I wanted them to participate. I told everybody, my parents, my siblings, my uncles, my aunties, they all thought I was going crazy. But I wouldn't stop talking about cryptocurrencies or preaching about them. And then I started, and I was also still learning more and more about it. And I started to realize how robust and diverse the industry is. And I decided to plant my flag on the blockchain technology hill and start a career there. And I knew that I wanted to educate people, or at least evangelize about blockchain and cryptocurrencies, but I didn't want to just do that. I was a lawyer by profession, and I wanted to do something more academic, or at least more legal within the sphere. And so I started to study around that. Now, I also decided that I wanted to be as involved in the industry as possible. So I learned to code, and I'm currently a blockchain developer in training. And that's the reason why the guys at PAWEN, I think they call it, asked me to come up here and talk to you about it, to basically share my experience and let you know what your opportunities are within the blockchain technology space. So with that, I'm going to go to the next session, or the next slide right now. Now let's talk a bit about blockchain technology. Now, if I try and tell you everything about blockchain technology, we'll not live here forever. So I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to do is just try and give you an idea of what it's about, so you can start to appreciate where we're coming from. So what is blockchain technology? So essentially, a blockchain is an electronic database. just like your Excel, just like your database. And it consists of a collection of records or information that is stored in blocks. So on an Excel sheet, that information or those records are stored on lines and columns, or should I say rows and columns. But when it comes to the blockchain, it's stored in blocks. And it's electronic, so it's on the internet. And these blocks are linked together because it's in chronological order. So as each record of information is created or collated, it is put into a block. And then if another record of information is created, it is put into a block chronologically, meaning following the first block, and so on and so forth. Hi, I figured so. I already figured that you were with PAWEN, Lara. So, and it's strongly resistant to change. And what does that mean? It means that it has been secured with cryptography so that bad actors or people who intend to corrupt the information or corrupt the arrangement of information will not be able to do so. So that's essentially what the blockchain is. It is a system that creates transparency, that promotes decentralized systems. What do I mean by decentralized systems? It means systems that are not controlled by central authority or central body. Why do you want systems that are not controlled by central authority or central body? Because systems that are controlled by central authority or central body are systems that are controlled by the minority, which means that the minority has the power to rule or overrule the majority, or the minority has the power to control or manipulate the majority. So that's the reason why you want systems. Hello?
Hi,
could you?
So we're running off in a few minutes, 1:55 Nigerian time.
1:55. Okay, so we just started here, but no problems. So essentially, I'll try and do my best within 4 minutes.
Continue the Q&A. So we join the main room later on.
Okay. So essentially, that's what the blockchain does. It allows you to operate within a system that is more transparent, where where people can operate with each other, can interact with each other without the introduction of third parties like banks, like governments, like credit card companies. And it allows for a higher level of accountability. It also allows you to be able to maintain your privacy, things that are important. And the overwhelming effect of all this is cheaper transactions, faster transactions, and more freedom and privacy for the individual. So now let's talk about careers within the blockchain industry. I have a lot to say, but let's just move straight to careers within the blockchain industry. So the careers that are available to people within the blockchain industry, there are so many of them. And the reason why is because it is literally the blockchain industry, the blockchain technology is able to be infused into other industries. And what that means is that it's hybrid. So it's not just the blockchain technology industry in one corner like that. It is the blockchain technology industry that has entered the pharmaceutical industry, that has entered the medical industry, that has entered entered into management, entered into different industries within the world economy. So blockchain technology can be applied in every single industry that exists. And what that means is that every person, regardless of what you studied or your area of interest, you can have a place within the blockchain industry. You can start a career within the blockchain industry. So first set of careers that I will talk about are the technical careers. So you can be a blockchain developer. So if you're a software developer, you can acquire the necessary skills and experience and qualifications and become a blockchain developer. You can also focus, if you're a UI UX developer or designer, you can also choose to specialize in blockchain UI UX design. You can, if you're a blockchain, a software architect or quality assurance engineer, or if you're a software project manager, you can also find a space. You can specialize and choose to work within the blockchain technology industry. If you're also into cybersecurity, or you're a software administrator, or you're just a junior developer, you can find yourself a very solid space within the blockchain technology industry. In addition to that, you have the traditional careers. And the reason why I'm talking about the traditional careers is because I know there are a lot of people who are looking into the blockchain industry from the outside, but they're not tech people. They're people who have semi-tech skills or qualifications, or they just have traditional skills or qualifications. So people like financial analysts, or people within the financial services, people like accountants, risk analysts, insurance people. They have a huge part to play within the blockchain technology industry, and they can get some very, very juicy jobs there. People in the legal system have a huge portfolio within the blockchain technology system, because there are things like IP to consider, regulations, government regulations within different territories and countries. There's also litigation to consider. There's requirements like copyright requirements, incorporation. There's so many things to look at, taxation. So there's a huge portfolio for legal personnel. Also things like communication. So public relations managers, research analysts, marketing, sales experts, even people in the HR fields. They have a huge portfolio within the blockchain technology system. Then also when it comes to non-traditional roles, like blockchain analysts, community managers, social media managers, influencers, blockchain traders, storytellers, digital content creators, educators and trainers, product evangelists, all these people have very, very exciting portfolios within the blockchain and cryptocurrency industry. So if you're interested in any of these things, or if you have qualifications in these areas already, and you are curious about blockchain technology and wondering if it's a place where you can plant your flag, you definitely can. So you can consider it. So let's see if we can move on. Let's talk about the kind of academic qualifications you'd have to look at. So if you want to create a path to the blockchain industry, start a career in the blockchain industry, you should start by looking at the relevant degree or certificates that you might need. So for instance, if you want to be a developer, you might want to get a computer science degree, or you might want to get an engineering degree, or you might want to get a degree as an architect. These are very, very direct ways to get into software development. You can as well choose to go the route of joining a boot camp, developer coding boot camp, and learn how to code. And then you can acquire relevant certificates and qualifications on places like Udemy, Udacity, Plural Sites. There are many of them. I think another one is OneTree. Some of them are mobile apps that you can just download, solo learn, and you can learn to code. And you can build your path to the blockchain industry from there. Then you need to acquire the relevant skills. Now, if you want to be a developer, your relevant skills are basically tech skills, so coding skills, database management skills. You're also looking at communication skills, project management skills. And if you want to go into an area like, if you studied, for instance, or if you have your degree or qualification in a more traditional role, so maybe like accountancy, risk management, law, marketing and sales, then what you'd want to do for your relevant skills is acquire a few skills within the area of within the virtual world. So you're going to want to acquire skills like Microsoft Office, so you have a very strong hold of working in that area. Then you're going to want to learn more about the cryptocurrencies, the blockchain space itself. So you need to have blockchain fundamentals at your fingertips. And when I say fundamentals, what I mean is that you need to understand everything that there is to understand about blockchain technology and its use cases, and how it is relevant to the world, and where it has come from, and also where it is going to. So if you understand that, then the next thing for you is the relevant work experience. So for you to gain relevant work experience, the ideal scenario would be one where you simply get a job within the blockchain industry and you work for a few years, or you get a job that allows you to do work that is blockchain industry adjacent. So for instance, let's say you're a lawyer and you're working in a telecom organization. So that gives you exposure to something that's tech related. And then by the time you now gain the fundamental knowledge of blockchain and you start to study on your own about those fundamentals, because there are very few opportunities for you to acquire certification within blockchain that is non-technical. So you acquire the knowledge by studying on your own. you gain relevant work experience within areas that are adjacent to the blockchain industry, and that will give you a foothold. So some of the things I recommend that people can do if they're interested and you're already pursuing these other aspects, meaning that you have the relevant degree or certification, you have acquired some relevant skills, and then you have the blockchain fundamentals at your fingertips. What you can do is you can start to network within the blockchain industry, getting to know people within the industry using tools like LinkedIn. You can also get to start building yourself up as someone who either desires or is already a member of the blockchain industry by writing, by getting involved in organizations that are blockchain focused. So if you join one or two organizations, like if you're a lawyer, you join the Blockchain Lawyers Association or something like that. And then you start to hobnob with the people within the industry, you learn from them, you find opportunities to volunteer for some of the stuff that they're doing so that you can learn more, gain more exposure and experience within the industry. And then from there, you will be able to meet the right people and learn about the good job opportunities that are available to you. And then you can use your open source work or your volunteer work as a basis, or should I say as experience.
I'm back
okay.
Again. Sorry,
yes.
So we are moving on to the panel session now. So please, could everyone join the main session again? If there are any other questions, they can ask you on there as well.
Okay, can you tell us how to do that?
Okay, so when you leave here, the same way you join this, by using the link or just leaving, and then you see the main session on the... Okay,
so thank you very much to all the ladies that joined me today. There are 10 of you. So Omolara, Gigi, Ayobami, Bukola, Demola, Justice, Mary, and Olatunji. So it looks like there are 2 guys here. So thank all of you for joining me. Hopefully we can do more during the Q&A session. So let's all just log out and join the Q&A session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.